U.S. economy, your now opponent, temporary opponent, David Shambaugh, has argued that if we were to engage in the sorts of practices that China is engaged in now, that we wouldn't be doing what Americans do, which is stand up for free trade, that in a sense to play hardball with China would be to be getting down in mud that we don't want to get down into.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we've argued for 15 years, that we should be a model for China and that they will learn from us, and gradually we're going to see the Chinese economy evolve into one that looks like ours. But that's not what's happened, right? You look back to 2012, six Chinese solar companies dominated the global market. Why? Because they had huge subsidies from the Chinese government. If they didn't have those subsidies, they would have been bankrupt. Right? They completely flooded our markets with their products. We do have leverage. I mean, U.S. exports to China equal about 2/3 of 1% of our GDP. In contrast, Chinese exports to the U.S. equal about 4% of their GDP. We have a lot of leverage with China right now. We can do things, and we should do things.
Do you agree with Ian Bremmer, who's arguing the same side as you on this one, that the leverage will be running out, that it's temporary leverage?
I don't know why we have temporary leverage. I do think, to the other point that you were making about the attack on the United States in terms of our technology and our future, that it is a significant issue already, and it will only grow. I mean, they've made huge inroads into our semiconductor industry. They're pouring $100 billion to go in and acquire firms from the U.S., and I think, as Ian mentioned, from Germany. There's an enormous amount of concern in Europe as well. So I think that it's not just about the U.S., it's about a lot of countries standing up and saying, this is how we do business. And China, you're too big at this point, the second or first largest economy in the world, depending on how you evaluate it. You have to play by the rules that everybody else is playing by, or you're going to suffer the consequences. And I think reciprocity, right, saying our market, your market is closed in these areas, well, maybe we're not going to let you invest either, is the way to go.
David Shambaugh, the response to that, the reciprocity theory.
Well, just to finish my point about reciprocity on investment, there is where we have leverage. And Liz just made the point, or maybe it was you, John, that China's trying to become an innovative power to, add value and get out of the middle income trap and become a fully developed economy. Well, what it's trying to do is acquire certain niche technologies in some very specifically designated fields, both in Europe and here in the United States. We can vet that and we can prevent that.